Hello everyone! Oh my god, I'm so excited about this video. So I welcome you to this video with a beautiful day of sun. It's like the first 4 or 5 days that the UK is blessed us with beautiful sky and not a cloud, which is unheard of this time of year. I'm so happy. It gives me such an energy, but I'm also super excited for this video. It's a totally new format for me, so very much work in progress. I hope you enjoy it. I think it's a way for me to get closer to you, or to you to get closer to me, to get me know better. And I also decided to launch this format with very much special news that came out. So I've recently announced my pregnancy on my channels, and the response has been overwhelming. It's my first baby, so I'm very much trying to figure things out. But a lot of you were sending so many kind messages, so warming, and I decided to do a sort of like Q&A, but since the response was so big, I decided to take this and bring it to a long form video, just because there are so many interesting questions that I want to answer properly. For everybody new to the channel, welcome. I am Gigi. I'm a plant-based nutritionist and personal trainer from Italy. I now live in London with my husband and our dog Manuka. I'm a mom-to-be as well. YouTube is a very much new project for me, so I hope in this channel to talk a lot about plant-based nutrition and fitness, and teaching about recipes, but also how to thrive on a plant-based diet, especially if you're active. Well, let's start. There were so many questions, and I decided to divide them into topics, because I think maybe some people are more interested in one, some people are more interested in the other, so it's very much easier than to locate them. It will be fitness, nutrition, and think mixed, like mixed question. All right, let's start. I will start with the fitness one. Is it okay to exercise while pregnant? Yes. I mean, as long as your doctors said that it's fine, it's totally fine for you to exercise. If you have been exercising before, keep on exercising. If you want to start something, maybe depend on what something, but definitely like any sort of exercising form is good. Of course, it needs to be taken into consideration that is a new type of exercise, so there is like new things involved, like with any activity, but generally it is recommended to exercise during pregnancy, because it's beneficial for you, but it's also beneficial for the baby, and helps recovery after, which is so important. Are all type of exercise safe? Depends. Mostly yes, but there are definitely some that I wouldn't recommend. I think to consider there are two main things. So the risk factor involved, and also that your body is working at a higher rate of higher energy requirement, and your heart, for example, is working 30 to 50% harder to pump blood, which means you're getting tired faster, which means the risk of injury is greater. So when you're considering what type of exercise to do, generally anything in the gym environment is safe and okay to do, except I would say a couple of exceptions. So anything with contact, karate, kickboxing, and all those like contact type of exercises, I would probably pause them, especially as you progress in the pregnancy, and put them aside and take them back when you're coming back from pregnancy, from birth, just because there is a bit of a greater risk involved, and you don't want any like flying punches or kicks to land in the wrong places, and also anything that involves hot rooms, so hot yoga, hot pilates, anything that's done on a mat that is done in a hot room. Better to avoid until you're pregnant, like while you're pregnant. Then after, perfectly fine to go back to it. And as long as you progress in the pregnancy, of course, there are type of exercises that are more difficult to perform, just because it's like there is a physical impediment to it. So it really depends on the type of activity that you do. But generally, everything that's done in the gym environment is okay. So weightlifting, Pilates, yoga, swimming, spinning is fine. Will you be running will you be running in your pregnancy as well? So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I love running. I'm an ultra marathon runner. I've done like 2 ultras, multiple marathons, trail running, half marathons. It's a big part of my life. I have stopped this winter with running just because, for once, I do not like running in the rain, running in the cold. It's something that I really do not enjoy. Secondly, I don't like running in the dark, especially in a city, London, where sometimes, I don't know, it's like I don't feel totally safe as a young woman running alone in the dark in winter. I also don't enjoy running on a treadmill, but that's a personal preference. Alright, with that, am I continuing running during my pregnancy? I think there are better exercises that I can do than running. The thing that is most important for me is the pressure that is applying to your pelvic floor. So the more your bumping is growing, the more your pelvic floor and lower tummy has to support the weight of your baby, and is already like under a lot of pressure during the day. If you add a type of exercise that is really pounding, it can be really difficult and stressful for that area of your body. Can you share your training schedule? Yes. So from what I was reading around like my first 2 weeks in pregnancy and what I was feeling like really tired. So I knew if I had kept my training schedule of before, like the routine, I was going to set myself up for failure. So I used to go 4 to 5 times in the gym a week, just for strength training, and then adding cardio to that. But now I've reduced the day where I go to the gym to 3 for strength training, divided into upper body, lower body, and full body. The sessions are around 1 hour each, so that hasn't changed compared to the way I was training before. 6 to 7 exercises, same, divided into like 3-4 set per exercise. And what has changed is the way I'm training. So I'm focusing more on a moderate intensity weight. So I'm not going for my rep max is more like 70% of my rep max, and that rep range that goes from 10 to 12, which still is challenging, but of course is different. I have added a 10 minutes pelvic floor exercises, the pelvic floor strengthening routine that I'm doing at the end of every session, just because I know the importance of strengthening your pelvic floor during pregnancy, just because it helps a lot with recovery after birth. And I have added a day of cardio. So as I said before, I'm swimming at the moment, 1 hour. And daily I try to reach the 8-10k steps a day. It's really easy with Mano because we go on walks like 2 times a day, which with these days is perfectly fine. Yeah, so that's basically it. Alright, let's talk about nutrition now. Are you nervous you will quit veganism? It has happened to many of my friends who were long timers. No, I'm very much not worried that I will quit veganism, just because I haven't switched my diet because of a trend or because of it's the thing to do at the moment, or because of health reasons really, although there are a lot of health reasons for going vegan. I think ethical reason, just because I know that what animals are going through, and I do not believe that I need to kill an animal to feed myself. So it's very unlikely that I will reintroduce those into my diet, just because the thought really makes me sick. Yeah. How are you planning your nutrition during pregnancy? But I mean, I haven't changed my nutrition much since I found out I was pregnant. I think in the first trimester it's perfectly fine if you keep on eating what you're eating, the same like sort of calorie level. I think the increased need becomes a bit more relevant when you're in the second and third trimester, but even then it's not that much. It's usually like 200-300 calories, which is the equivalent of a snack, really. Brings me to something. It's like, let me do some product placement here. If you're looking for inspo in general, like my cookbook, plant protein can definitely help with that. Like unconsciously I did a lot of that. So for example, these chewy granola bars, they are made with like dried fruits, which has a lot of fiber, nuts and seeds, which is rich in micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, for example vitamin B9 or iron and so on. So it definitely covers you for that as well. As well as a lot of like other small snacks. So you have chocolate cookies made with red beans. Everybody is so surprised when they eat this because you can't taste the beans at all. Or the quinoa protein brownies, this one here, the butterbean blondies here. So there is a lot of like options, and as well like smoothies at the beginning as breakfast, but you can make them as a snack as well. So like really there is no need to worry about being vegan and being pregnant. It's totally doable as long as you have a varied balanced diet. Do you think vegan diet is possible for babies, toddlers, thinking vitamin B12, for example? Absolutely. As I said before, it's I think there is enough evidence now that we can say that, yeah, well planned and balanced, and I underline that well planned and balanced, like every other type of diet, it needs to be well planned and balanced to work. It will be suitable for every stage of life. That means from the beginning to the end. When I published this question in my stories, there were lots of moms who were saying, yes, I'm raising my kid plant-based and it's totally fine as long as it's well planned, it has a variety of food and so on. So how did you cope with food in the first trimester? I couldn't stand broccoli. Oh my god, even like the smell, don't come close to me. No. Broccoli was forbidden in the house for the first like 2-3 months. What weird cravings do you have? Hot chips, oh my god, with ketchup. Oof. Especially if they were like sweet potatoes, or as they say in New Zealand, kumara, pop. I actually was quite lucky. I didn't have any morning sickness, which at some point made me worried because everybody was being sick all the time, and I was like, maybe once. And at the very beginning, I didn't even know I was pregnant back then. I just thought I had like something funny for dinner. But I didn't have any morning sickness at all. So I was only feeling very tired. Okay, now on to the next question. I became vegan in December. We're trying for a baby and everyone is telling me I shouldn't be veg. Any advice? Oh my god, when I read this, it made me so angry. I sometimes wish people could just like shut up and keep like their opinion for themselves, because they are not wanted, especially when they come from a position of not knowledge, just because they need to give air to their mouth. It's such like a huge process on its own. It's like emotionally trying for a baby. You don't need anyone else telling it what to do unless they are professional. My advice is just filter them. Who are these people? Are they professionals? Are they even if they are healthcare professionals, where are they professionals? Is that dietitian, nutritionist? Who is it? Absolutely, like, don't listen to people who are just like giving air to their mouth just because. No reason to. Are you struggling with body image while you're pregnant? Well, of course I am. I think it's not talked enough, and it's a bit of a shame, but yes, definitely. For me, it's a bit more. Some days I can barely recognize myself in the mirror. I am feeling not confident at all. I feel like I have lost a lot of what I've worked for. But then on the other side, there are days where I'm super proud of my bump and I want to show it to everybody. It's like, look, I am growing a human. There is a little bean here. And I'm super proud of it. And I try to dress like in a way that is bump friendly, but also like is showing the bump. I think more than body image for me, it goes a little bit deeper. So I see this part of my life as a transition into another phase, very much from when you change from being a kid to being a teenager. I think somebody mentioned it as well in DM, which was quite nice because it's true. It's like entering another aspect of your life, and you will identify as someone new as well. So you're totally building a new identity, which is destabilizing. Of course, it's scary, and that goes through your physical appearance as well, because you see your body changing. So there is both this change that goes on in your identity and physical, which can be quite daunting. I think it's totally normal. Everybody feels it in a different way, and it's totally fine. There is no right or wrong way to feel about it. It's just not talked enough. Thoughts on future play dates where the other family is serving meat or dairy to your child? I don't think for us, me and Bryn, and for our family, it will be a problem, just because our families are both very respectful, and if we decide something, they will respect that. Even like there might be discussion around it. It's like, my parents are not vegan, Bryn's parents are not vegetarian. It's just the two of us, really. And there have been discussion around why this choice. Is it like, I think it's coming from a place of not knowing. It will be interesting once the kid is growing and they will want to explore more. So if there are situations where they would want to try something that has dairy or meat in it, that is a bit more different, and I think we will need to respect that. This is my personal opinion. It's important to teach them the values of why we at home have decided to not have meat or dairy, but if they want to explore, experiment and try once they are out, I think we need to respect that, just because restricting in the long term has much more damage than actually having a softer touch. Okay, last question, and then I will reveal the gender, because I promised you I will reveal the gender. Where is the other question? 1 second, I lost it. May I ask how old you are, or ask the community how old they were when they were pregnant? I am 31 and live vegan. I would love to try to get pregnant. I am so scared it won't work because of my age. Well, I'm turning 33 in 2 weeks, so it's totally fine. Just go for it. So yeah, a lot of you have asked about it. I didn't do that on purpose, but I have never probably shared my age. And now, before closing, the gender reveal. So we are expecting a boy. The boys club is growing in this house. We have Bryn, we have Manu as a boy, and a little bean now. We have already started a list of names. They are mostly Italians, but yeah, that is for a second moment. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had so much fun doing it. If you liked it, please let me know in the comments below and leave a like so that I know that you are enjoying this type of video, this kind of video. And if you want to share your experience, please do, because it's a way for me to get to know you, to chat to you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!